is Supriya, aka the Curious Conversationalist. நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருப்பது தி Curious Conversations podcast. இன்னைக்கு ஒரு சூப்பரான மார்னிங்க. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம நியூ இயர் ஆரம்பிக்கிறதுக்கு 3 நாள் முன்னாடி நான் ஒரு சுவாரஸ்யமான ஒரு கான்வர்சேஷனை அப்லோட் பண்ணி நான் இந்த நியூ இயர் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான். பட் முக்கியமா நான் ஏன் நியூ இயர்க்கு 3 நாள் முன்னாடி நான் இதை ஆரம்பிக்கிறேன் நீங்க நினைச்சிட்டு இருப்பீங்க. பட் த பாயிண்ட் ஹியர் இஸ் தட் ஐ ஹாவ் அ வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் கான்வர்சேஷன் டு ஸ்டார்ட் த இயர் வித் பிகாஸ் யூஸ்வலி நம்ம எல்லாரும் என்ன பண்றோம், ஒரு வருஷமுமே ஒரு சின்ன ரெசல்யூஷன் நம்ம ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம் இல்லையா. நான் இதை பண்ணணும், நான் அதை பண்ணணும், நான் எது செய்யணும் அதை செய்யணும் அப்படிங்கிறது. அண்ட் சம்டைம்ஸ் வி டென் டு ஃபர்கெட் த ரெசல்யூஷன் as the year progresses, right? So without attaching ourselves, I'd like to really pass on a small message to all of you before I actually introduce the guest for today's episode here. Let us not really emotionally attach ourselves to the beginning of any New Year's, guys, because a New Year again is just the start of a new calendar year, right? This is basically a start of another year, the same 12 months running here. You have the same festivals which are going to be celebrated. And when we attach a certain idea of a goal or a resolution at the start of a new year, what really happens is that we get so excited when we start doing that same goal or resolution when the new year starts. And then ultimately, when the heat of the passing days go by, we tend to forget. Because end of the day, நம்ம எல்லாருமே மனுஷங்க தானே. So this was my small message for all of you. Now, இன்னைக்கு நம்ம எபிசோட்ல என்ன அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, இன்னைக்கு ஒரு சுவாரஸ்யமான ஒரு மனிதரை நான் இன்னைக்கு நம்மளோட பேச போறாங்க. அவரோட பேரு குமார் சௌரப். அவர் இக்கிகை ஸ்கூல்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு ஆஃப்டர் ஸ்கூல் ப்ரோக்ராம தொடங்கி வச்சிருக்காரு. அண்ட் இத பத்தி என்ன சுவாரஸ்யங்கிறத பேசுறதுக்காக தான் நம்ம இந்த எபிசோட இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். இது வரைக்கும் நான் பண்ணின எபிசோட்ஸ் எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கும்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். And I'm pretty sure and hopeful that you would have all loved listening to my episodes. And today is, I have this incredible opportunity to talk to Mr. Kumar Saurabh here because sir, I'm pretty sure know that I have been following you up on this, right, for a pretty good amount of time.
Yes, you do.
So today the episode is going to be about learning beyond books with Kumar Saurabh from IKIGAI School. So before we begin what the session is about, I will hand over the introductory part to Kumar Saurabh himself. So please do tell a little bit about yourself and what you do to our audience. Kumar.
Okay. First of all, while I was listening to your Tamil version, I was so just to give you one little context there. So my this podcast would have been even better with my wife because my wife knows Tamil. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we are both from North India, but she lived a lot of time, especially in her childhood. She lived in Chennai and as well as Bangalore. So she knows Kannada, she knows Tamil in fact, more fluently than even Kannada. So yeah, so from that point, let's start. So as you already introduced, as far as I could understand, so I'm Kumar Saurabh. I am nowhere. So I'm normally now these days, whenever someone asks me to introduce myself, I'm little. Earlier my introduction was like this: hey, I am so and so in this big companies and I'm so and so doing this big task. These days my introduction is very simple, one liner: I'm teacher. So these days I'm teaching, and I'm teaching these so incredibly beautiful kids at IKIGAI School. And IKIGAI School, as you have already said, is after school program running in Noida. So there's a basti called Barola in Noida, and that's where we are running this after school program. So these kids go to their normal, regular schools, big or bad, big or small, or government or private, but they go to a school, regular schools, and then once they are done with the school timing, so they come to our center for learning. And that's the key part, this one word, learning. And this is so engraved in their mind these days now. So in initial days I had to put a lot of effort just to get them to the school. These days they are fully motivated. I don't have to do anything. They are coming day in day out. Rain or shine does not matter. So like example, we have, so in Delhi, especially in Delhi, so the weather is pretty harsh. So in summer it's harsh. Now it's winter is coming. It's gonna be very harsh. The rain was there in the monsoon season. Again, it was very harsh. So every season is pretty harsh in their own way, and we have seen it all. Now the winter is coming. This is the last season I'm gonna see it. So I'm pretty excited for winter, just for the record. But so we have seen all this weather, but kids are showing up day in day out, no matter what weather, no matter how harsh the situation is. They are coming up, and there's only one motivation for them is the learning, because we are focusing on a lot of new things which they don't see, or they have not even heard in their regular curriculum. And that's why most of the kids are coming just to learn some new things. So this is pretty much it about the introduction part.
Thank you for introducing yourself to our audience, Saurabh. And to be very honest, actually, we sort of connected on LinkedIn.
Right.
So when I first saw your profile on LinkedIn and when I read about the school, IKIGAI School, I was like, oh my God, I wish I had known about the school much earlier when I was a kid. But then not possible, right? I mean, that would have been so many years.
True.
So, well, I could say this, the moment I started reading about what you do at IKIGAI and what the kids do at IKIGAI, I could understand that the inner child in me was practically bursting with joy. Oh my God, they're doing so many things. The kids are being so confident. They're doing a lot of things. They're exploring, they're experimenting. Some of the very key aspects that I believe I seem to have missed while I was at school.
100%. And that is the key. So this is the whole premise of this school, Supriya. So the major problem with, these days with kids are they are not exposed to many things. And the big schools or small schools, again, it's not about the small schools I'm talking about the biggest schools. So they are talking a lot of big things, but they're not really working on the kids, like how to develop their critical thinking power, how to develop their overall emotional quotient power, how to develop their overall presentation power, how to increase their confidence, how they can talk to anyone and literally everyone. So these kids, which I am fortunately associated with, when you will talk to them, you will be so surprised how on the earth these kids are so confident. They can talk to anyone, literally. So a lot of days we go to we call it Ikigai visit. So we visit a lot of either corporate or manufacturing in museum or something like that. So one of the, I think last month in October, we were visiting one of the very big company on the corporate office, the headquarters. And then one kid, like one-on-one conversation, one kid was talking to their VP level employee. And then post discussion, the VP came to me and said, there was something unreal to this. I was like, what happened, sir? Then he said, how is possible that this kid is so confidently talking? And they were having proper conversation. It's not only, the question answer, random question answer prepared. They were having conversation. Conversation can go anywhere, right? So they were having proper conversation. And the VP sir was so surprised that like, this is unreal. So coming from a 7th grader from a government school kid, they have not seen this kind of kids. So that's the whole, the notion is pretty different. And these kids are doing a lot of things which is totally unheard. Like they are running, you must have seen, they are running the newspaper. They are having their own content on LinkedIn. They are having they are creating, I don't know, you must have not read books, they have read it now. So we have our own library. They are reading day in, day out those books. And then they are telling me, have you read that book? And I was like, no, kid, I have not read that book. But they'll tell me the stories. Okay, so it is written in this book. So they are doing, by far, for their age, they are doing exceptionally well, for sure.
This is like so inspiring to hear, because somewhere I can understand that as a teacher you have tapped into the core fundamental of every child, which is their curiosity.
True.
Because I'll just pull out a small example here before I ask my first question. So we were having a conversation with a bunch of kids, me and my husband from our family. and we had taken them out for dinner. And I was like sitting and engaging them on a full length conversation. They were asking me how, can you tell me who invented this whole ramen, who invented a burger, and I was quite interested to actually understand. So I was like, see, I do not know, but can you give me a minute? I'll read up about it and I'll talk to you in detail.
Okay.
And then when I said, I actually read about it, and then I was sharing the information, and they were like, oh wow, this is very nice. And then my husband was like, how on earth are you even how on earth are you even patient with, having conversations with the kids? I was like, there's nothing fun, there's no rocket science here. You just have to
True,
tap into
true,
their curiosity.
true, 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 true.
Because somewhere down the line, I believe that when we were, such curious kids, I believe that curiosity part was not really tapped.
True.
And we had to learn the hard way to harness
Something
ourselves.
that's the right word, the hard way. So everyone is gonna learn it, either easy way or hard way. But yes, so I think in our generation there are a lot of there's a lot of no's there. There's a no is more than yes. So if you ask anyone, possibility is they don't know it, and they'll say, "Okay, let's not discuss this." So those kind of no were there, always there. So yes, so you are absolutely correct.
And I believe, Saurabh ki, like, not there was not a single person in our family or in the teaching sphere who was like, when we ask a question, they were not like, Arey, I do not know this, but can you give me some time? I'll
True,
actually read about it and
true,
get back to you.
true,
It was
true.
like, why are you wasting my time? Sit down.
True, exactly. It is out of context. You should not know this now. It's not your time. All the blah blah blah. Because they don't know, so they'll just brush it off. Okay, let's not discuss this. True, very true, very true.
So, like, on that note, keeping curiosity at the forefront, could you explain to our audience more about what Ikigai School does and what it stands for? What inspired you to start the school?
Okay, so there's a twofold question. First, I'll answer what inspires, and then I'll discuss what exactly we do. Right. So see, inspiration. It's pretty tough question. I'll let you know why. But so here's the story. So I am coming from a very 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 humble background myself. So I am from Patna, Bihar. So I'm coming from very humble background. My father was a Group C employee in semi-government organization. So we have seen those hardships. We have seen those. What 1 rupee can do to you. And then but one fine day, and it's the same level of the curiosity thing what you said. So when I was in 7th 8th, I read one article on financial freedom in Times of India. I couldn't understand, but I could have understood that okay, this is something good thing, but I couldn't understand very well what exactly this is. But anyway, so I'm very same way I asked my father, I asked some relatives or neighbors or something like that, but I couldn't get the real answer what exactly it is because no one was aware. So then I was like, okay, fine, let's go ahead with the life, and then life happens. But when I started my masters, and that thing then came again back to my life, what is financial freedom. Then I was able to more research, done more research, and then I could understand, okay, this is financial freedom is. And then once I started working, my only aim was to get financial freedom. That's it, plain and simple. I was not chasing any, okay, this sort of money or that sort of money. I was only chasing the financial freedom. That's it. One day I want to reach there. And then coincidentally, I moved to US. That, of course, the dollar helped in this whole journey for sure. So then once I reached there, okay, this is it. I'm, I have financial freedom. What to do next? That problem I haven't thought. What next? And then I was like, okay, financial freedom is there. I have certain amount of money. Now what? Then we moved to India, and then, but my search was on what next. So when we moved to India for next 10 months, I was not working. I was just looking for that something, and I was not able to get. And it's a very hard journey. I can't explain in words. how hard it is every day. You woke up and you think you are trying to find something and you're not able to find it. And if you don't know what you are finding, that's the best part. So anyway, so I was trying to do something, but nothing was clicking. Then again I joined back corporate because it was so much disheartening. Every day was a pain. It's a painful journey. So 10 months I was sitting at home doing nothing, just trying to find something, which God knows what. Then I started again doing corporate. But while doing again back to corporate, my search was on. So I was doing a lot of volunteering. I was doing a lot of things. So one fine day in that during volunteering event, I met a kid called Anuj. He that time, it's a 2 years back story. So that time he was in ninth. Now he must be in 11th. So he was in ninth, and I asked a very cliche question. You normally ask, what you're gonna do in life. You ask to every kid, right? What do you wanna be? And I asked him, what do you wanna be? And then he said, without any sarcasm, without any anger, like pure, simple, straightforward answer that, sir, I don't know anything. How I can answer this question? I just know two things, two professions. One is my father is carpenter, so I know about carpentry. Though I don't know about carpentry, I just know the profession of carpenter. And then I am seeing here teachers, so I know the teaching. Apart from these two professions, I don't know. So I don't know how I'm going to answer this question. And I was like, okay. And I was speechless at that point. I was like, what to say this after this? I had no follow-up question. I had no follow-up statement after that. That discussion just ended right there. I came back home. I was literally dwelling on that same conversation. And the next day I had my bath. I left everything the very next day, and I started teaching. So during that volunteering period, I was aware a lot of NGOs I was working with. So I called them, hey, I want to teach. Do you have any space or any time for me where I can teach kids? So they asked me, they technically asked me, what are you going to teach? I said, only thing I know is software. I'm going to teach software. And then they said, how these kids are 6th, 7th grade, how you are going to teach software to them? I was like, okay, let's try. So a couple of them agreed, a couple of NGOs agreed. And by the time I have left everything, I said, okay, this is it. I'm going to do it in my life. I'm going to teach. So since that day, I'm teaching. So it's almost 2 years now. So IKIGAI School was still not in the picture. I was teaching with a lot of different NGOs. I was teaching software only. But again, down the line, 10 months, Supriya, I realized this whole industry is so commercialized. Even the social sector, especially in the social sector, is so commercialized. They are treating these kids as commodity, and they are just, it's a way of just earning money. That's it. I was like, okay, I have left everything, not for this for sure. So then I left that as well. So this whole NGO thing, I stopped just one fine day. And the very next day, I opened IKIGAI School. I was like, okay, so I have to do this, because whenever I was talking to these NGO heads or NGO owners, hey, why the kids are not in the focus front area for you? So then their answer was something on these lines, hey, you don't know how to run, you are just a volunteering, you don't know the nitty-gritties, you don't know the hardships what we are facing, the money is important, and blah blah, and number of things. Once you will run, then you will realize all those sort of answers. I was like, okay, let's run it, and then only I might realize what I'm not able to see now. So on that note, I started IKIGAI School again the very next day. So since March 6th, I'm running this school. And at that time, Supriya, if you ask me what was the vision, nothing. Seriously, nothing. I just had one vision, that I want to show them what they could become. That's it. That's a plain and simple question. I just wanted to answer them, every single kid. And that's why the name the Ikigai came into my mind. So it was the first name. When I started thinking that night, what should be the name of this institute, the Ikigai came to my mind, because the kid which I met at the school and the volunteering event, the Anuj, he was not able to answer that question, what he wants to become. And I was like, okay, Ikigai is the perfect name for this whole program. So the first name and the last name, nothing. It literally came to my mind in like 3 seconds. Okay, IKIGAI School. That's it, plain and simple. I just looked at the domain is available. Yes, it was available. I was okay, fine. IKIGAI School is the name. So since then, there was no vision. To be very honest, there was no vision at all. So vision or the dream is widening day in literally every day. So when I started the Ikigai School, there was only one vision. I want to let every kid know that what they can be in future. But then I started this program. I started with one thing, then another, and it's keep on adding on. Every month and every day we are adding on something. It's still shaping up. I'm still not done. I'm still not satisfied, to be very honest again. So there's literally n number of things we are doing. So but three major things, every other thing what we are doing to achieve majorly three things. So the first is I want them to be super confident. So they can present themselves, they can sell themselves in the terms of they can talk to anyone and everyone. So that is the one thing. And then the second thing, I just definitely want them to have a good EQ and solid EQ. That emotionally they have to be very much aware what they are doing, why they are doing, and how they are doing. So that EQ is very important for this whole program. So I'm working literally very rigorously with them on the EQ front. And then the third thing which I'm trying to focus on the critical thinking. So overall their thinking power has to be this, the curiosity, what you said, this why. They should always ask why. Even I have told them, like, even if I say something, just ask why. Always this why thing has to be there. So they are questioning everything, why, what, how, these questions in their mind is all the time running. So these are the three major core front which we are working on, Supriya. And to achieve these three things, now we are doing literally a number of things, like we have our own library, we have our own computer lab, we have our own skill center, we are teaching them software, psychology, we are having our own storytelling session, we are having our own panchayat session, we are having a Inky visit. There's literally n number of things. We can keep on going on discussing those, but the major key areas are those three things what I just mentioned.
So that was very well elaborated, actually, and especially when you were talking about the emotional quotient part of the conversation. I could really relate to that part, because the kids of today, the Gen Z kids, and that's a truth I'm also struggling to cope up with, because I have a few cousins who tell me that I'm a Gen Z kid, and I'm not really able to accept the truth even now. So, in light of that argument aside, that emotional battle aside, of whether I'm a Gen Z kid or not, what thing I could observe from a Gen Z kids of today is that their situational awareness takes a heavy beating.
True.
Because they are surrounded by technical gadgets everywhere.
True.
They are, and now to add more mess into the mix, now you have AI. They say, for example, they are like, say I'm a Gen Z kid and I want to come and ask you, sir, can you teach me about let's say gravitational force? And then for some reason you are busy or you're not able to like respond, and then I'm immediately like, okay, fine, I have Perplexity AI on my phone, I can just Google it and I can get my answers.
True.
Now the whole challenge right now here is that India has had a history of this Guru Sishya Parampara, or the student teacher bond, right from the Gurukula time till today, which we are so struggling to unearth that principle back in place. So how do we fix this, Saurabh? Like, how do we ensure that when kids learn, especially when kids learn, it is always a face-to-face and a person-to-person interaction?
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna answer this, but here's the thing. How how about if I tell you that at our center, these kids are so much into the program that we have not closed the school ever. They are coming on Holi, they are coming on Diwali, they are even the Christmas night. We were all together there celebrating every single festival. They are there every day. They are there. We are not just closing. They just don't allow to close. It's not I'm not closing. They don't allow me to close every day. So, like example, now the New Year is coming. They'll keep asking me, sir, what's the plan for New Year now? So now the whatever the next festival is, they know that what the next festival is, right? So now they will look forward to that festival, how we are going to celebrate it together at our center. And it's for every single festival. Since March, we have not missed a festival. So it's a lot of festivals have gone, right? For the North India context, the Holi, Diwali, Eid, and for every religion. It's not about the only Hindus. So we have Muslim students, we have Christian students, we have Hindu students, of course. So for every religion, there's a lot of festivals, right? So every day we are there, Supriya. So those and you are very rightly pointed, this connection between student teacher is lacking, is so much. But I don't know, I'm little fortunate there. So our connection is way beyond birds, Supriya. I just can't express. So they just love this whole program and me so much, I just can't tell you. So like every day, so how about if I tell you? So let's put it this way. So every day, I take class, and post class I'll see some student will come to some handcraft items, and it's like currently it's in front of my eyes. So in my office where I'm sitting now in the home office, I have a lot of things which these kids have made, and it's right in front of my eyes currently even. So every day they come to me and they make something, God knows what. It does not have to be beautiful. That's not the point. Point is they are putting their effort every day. So they draw something, they will make a sculpture, or they make some kind of gift, so that they just want to give something, because I'm not taking any money. So I don't know what their thinking is behind this, but they just want to give something every day. So some or other kid will get me something, and if nothing, they'll get some food for me. Okay, sir, let's have food together today. So they just love this whole program beyond words, Supriya. And this is a very true essence. So and that's what I was, initially I was telling you. So initially I had to work a lot just to get them to the door. But these days I don't. They are pushing me to come every day to the door. They are there already. So our school session starts at 2, and you will find 10 kids even before 2. Yeah. They'll come even before 2, right at the door. And when I'll go, and then I'll say, okay, chalo, let's come inside. So they are even before 2, they are there, and the program ends at 6:30 or 7. They want to even spend more time there. So this whole thing is, you have to have one-on-one connection with every kid. To answer your question, how? So the one thing now, very initially I started with, whenever I started this journey in the March, I said one thing. So I'm going to say in Hindi, and then I'll translate it in English. So normally when, kid asks anything to the teacher, hey, sir, can you repeat this? So normally teacher replies, hey, you are such a dumb person. You are not able to understand in one go. And I made a rule at my school. That's very simple rule. समझने वाले की गलती नहीं होती है, समझाने वाले की गलती होती है. What it means is, it's not your fault that you are not able to understand. It's my fault that I am not able to make you understand. So you can ask me n number of times the same question. There's no stupid question. You can ask me. You are not able to understand. It's not your fault. It's on my fault. It's technically my fault that I am not able to make you understand. So it's my fault. So it's on me, not on you. So you can ask very freely. And now, initially, they were not able to, cope up with this kind of setup. So because they have seen it at school, they have seen it in coaching, they have seen it at home. It's a different thing, right? They will put it on you that you are gadha, you are not able to understand, right? But I made them literally understand, it's not your fault, it's my fault. and after 10 months or 11 months, they are fully into this theme. That's not their fault, it's my fault. And now they are, and just by this small change, that's not their fault, my fault, they are very free. They are very free beyond words. They are very free. They ask any question, literally any question. So this is the only rule. For me, it worked a lot. That one-on-one connection, and apart from that, in classroom setup, I just make them feel that it's not their fault, that they don't know even 2 plus 2, even it's 2 plus 2, and they are in class 9. Let's imagine this use case. 2 plus 2, they don't know, it's okay, because it's not their fault, it's our fault that they don't know 2 plus 2. It's technically on teacher, not on a student, that he or she is not able to understand 2 plus 2 is 4, and he or she is writing 5. It's technically my fault that I am not able to make them understand it's 4. So it's, and once they have this feeling that's not their fault, now the connection is pretty strong post that. So, and they are totally too much into this whole thing that it's not their fault. Whatever is the situation, current situation is not their fault, it's the teacher's fault.
And yes, on that note, sir, you were talking about a lot of initiatives in IKIGAI School, right? Could you quickly introduce all those initiatives to our audience?
Sure. So the first thing, as I said, I started with the academics part, where I am again is our overall curriculum or teaching is way beyond out of box. So firstly, we are teaching everything about computers. That includes coding, everything, all the nuances of the computer you can think of, starting from coding, starting from database, starting from PowerPoint presentation, everything. We are teaching them literally everything in and out of computers, because only thing I know is computer. So I just wanted to let them know everything about computer. So the one thing is computer, and this computer, again, I'm not talking about the Excel and PowerPoint. We are literally teaching them programming on whiteboard, by the way. We are not using any device in the classroom. We have our own computer lab for practice, but in the classroom, we are teaching them on whiteboard. So that's one thing. Second, we are focusing a lot on psychology and philosophy for EQ part. And then we are teaching English, math, current affairs. These are the core areas where we are hitting them. Apart from academics, and academics is hardly a 5%, just for the record. So the other things what we are doing, we are our own library. So kids are reading literally every sort of book. It could be autobiography, it could be fictional, non-fictional, everything is there. It could be comics even. So a lot of kids love even comic books. So every genre of books are there. So they are reading those books. We have our own computer lab where they practice a lot of things. So that is another thing. We are having a lot of peer tutoring part, where they teach other kids. We are having our own, junior IKIGAI School, where so initially, Supriya, we started with the 6th grader onwards. Down the line, as I said, every day we are having new things. So down the line, I think 3-4 months back, I started a new section, a new branch, which we call it Junior IKIGAI School, where we started from even the nursery kids as well. So now we have every literally all the ages of students or kids at our center, starting from nursery till the 11th. All sort of students are coming. So we are having, and the Junior IKIGAI School is also very special, because the kids in the seniors classes are teaching them. Yes, so we don't have any other specific teachers. So the kids who I am is associated with, they are going into that class and teaching them in their free time. So that's how
lovely.
Yes, so by doing this, so both parties are getting benefited. One side is getting confidence and how to teach, and then the kids are of course getting some learning. So that's you have any question on that?
I can practically see a circular
True.
a loop going on here.
Yes, and that's the whole point. And so this whole thing is that only, Supriya. So one day I was talking to these small kids, the Junior IKIGAI School, and I told them, hey, I have one super duper dream that one kid will pass from here to this classroom, the junior classroom, to the senior classroom, and then they start teaching in the junior classroom. I would love to see that day. I don't know how much I'm waiting for that day, that one kid from pass from here to first the senior and then start teaching in the junior. That circle, I'm just waiting for that day. Trust me, it's gonna be such a good, joyful moment for me. I can't express again. But yeah, so that is a junior Ikigai school. We are having Ikigai, we call it Ikigai visit, where we take kids every month. We are having a lot of awards. We give awards, by the way, to a student. The very simple awards, like how about if I tell you the 100% attendance award. So whosoever kids comes every day, every single day on time, they will get the attendance award. Then discipline award, participation, student of the month, best teacher award. There's a number of awards, right? So all the awardees, we take them to some place every month. So yesterday we take them to National Museum in New Delhi, and so that was the 7th month consecutive. We are taking them every single month somewhere. So that is another thing which we do. The one program which is again close to my heart like anything, which is, we call it Ikigai Panchayat. Every evening, literally every evening, we sit post class hours. We just sit and talk on anything, on everything, whatever comes to that day. That could be any issue, that could be any fun discussion, anything. But we definitely do it for sure every single day. So we call it Ikigai Panchayat. We just discuss anything and everything. That could be discussion on why Russia is fighting with Ukraine. That could be that discussion, that heavy discussion, or the very simplest discussion, why one of the kids, let's say Rakhi is sad today. That could be that kind of discussion, any discussion, but discussion has to be there. So that is Ikigai Panchayat. Then we have one program called Ikigai Talk. Again, very important part, where it's a TED Talk like kind of platform we have created, where people come to our platform and then talk to these kids. They share their journey, their experiences, their challenges, why they have done and what they have done, and those kind of things. And you never know, one kid might get inspired by their journey. So that's the whole crux. So that's, we call it Iki Talk. What else? I must be missing something, I'm sure. We do it a lot of community outreach program. We call it Iki Community, where and these days, so Barola is a very big community, by the way. Supriya is like, God knows, 1 lakh people must be there. And I know everyone now. And I'm not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating by any means. I literally knocked every single door in last 11 months in that whole community. And it's not me only. That's the best part. It's not me who is driving. It's the kids are driving this thing again. So they are coming almost every Sunday or every holiday. We go to these doors and they knock, and we just knock, and then we either let them know what we do, and if there's any kid, please come to us and see what we are doing. That's it. Very simple objective. So we literally knock every single door every single Sunday, and we are doing since 11 months now. So that's how I know almost everyone in that whole community, and they know me almost everyone. So that's how we are. And again, I'm saying it's not me. It's the kids are doing all these things. I'm just standing somewhere in the back. The kids are knocking the door, the kids are talking, the kids are letting them know what we are doing. Please send your kids as well. These all things are kids are talking, not me. So so that is another thing. So these are the major core areas which we are currently working. So oh, sorry, one important thing. We are having our own scholarship program. And scholarship again is a very out of the box thinking. Normally scholarships you must have heard in the whole world, it's given on the merit, the whosoever study well or whosoever done the good in the scholarship test, they will get the scholarship. No, it's not like that. Our place is a very simple scholarship program that whosoever comes will get the scholarship. That's it, plain and simple.
Okay.
It's based on attendance. So whosoever is coming 90% times, they'll get the scholarship. So we are giving 6,000 per year per student. So whosoever comes every at least 90% in quarter, and that's where this actual leeway is there. So let's say 1 month they are not able to come due to any reason, for family function or any reason. so they can cope up in the next month. But the quarterly basis, 90% attendance is mandatory, and then they'll get the 6,000 per year per student for scholarship.
So, when you spoke about the awards, uh, I had a very silly question. May I ask?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, like, this is coming from what I generally observed when I was a kid in school, and also from the kids that I see in their school. So, when one kid gets a scholarship or when one kid gets an award, there is a sense of like, I missed that. I just feel bad. I didn't do it. I should have been better. Or a small bubbling sense of animosity that comes between the kids and all of that. My one question is that when a bunch of kids receive those awards in your school, what do the other kids feel?
Okay, so here's the thing, and the best part. First, the best part. You know what we give to in the awards? You won't believe what we give. We give a cup printed on A4 sheet, colored A4 sheet. That's it. It's end. That's what we give in award.
Okay.
Cup, literally cup, printed on colored A4 sheet. That's it. That is it. Okay? But to answer your question, they feel more motivated because the competition is pretty high these days. Trust me. Initially, when we started this, because this whole thing is going from the since day one. So the award was in the month one, they were taking it easily, but the next month and next month and next month, competition is getting, higher and higher. So every month they put everything, every ounce of energy. So they are putting. Let's example, how about if I tell you there's an award for best book reader, right? Whosoever is reading more books and better books and the better articulating in those books, it's not only reading, it's you have to articulate in the whole class, right? Post. So let's imagine today, because it's almost month end. So today we are gonna have one session on just book reading. So whosoever wants to participate in that category, the best book reader award, they'll come on a stage, they'll start articulating what they have read and what exactly they have learned in the whole month from that book. Right? And everyone has to go through this process. So point is, they will literally, we call it in Hindi chartna matlab puri tarah se usko every single word they are gonna read it and they are gonna settle in the mind. They'll create the story from that book and which they are gonna speak today. So they are gonna practice. Trust me, they are gonna practice in front of mirror. That kind of practice, right? So they must be doing right now. We are talking. One kid must be doing that. I'm telling you, I'm so sure. There's one of the kid must be doing currently this practice because they know that today is going to be the book reading exercise. They must be practicing it now. Point what I'm trying to make, Supriya, they put a lot of effort. That so next month I want that award because every award has their own complexity and has their own advantage, and they want that award. So we have our own award in content writing. We have our own award in news, as a best journalist because these IKIGAI Times, they are managing it. So there's a one award for that best journalist as well. So every day they are writing and I am getting multiple submissions. The best one gets published, but there are a lot of, I'm getting not only one student, article. I am getting every day multiple articles. The best one gets published. And then out of whatever, let's say I'm getting 10 articles, so all the best one gets published, but there are 8 articles which will not get published ever, right? So those sort of competition is there. That's what I'm trying to say. But whosoever does not get published, it's not get demotivated and next day they are not sending. They are even sending better article so that they can get published.
There's a healthy competition. There's no jealousy or envy here.
No, there's no such, literally there's no such jealousy and all. They are just putting there because they know the hard work is the only thing which they can do currently, and they are putting so much hard work. And every program is not only book or news or library or computer lab, because award is everywhere. Literally from also how I did it now. Whichever point I want to highlight, I created one award for that. So I want them to start reading books. How about there's an award for book reading? I want them to start using computer lab. There's an award for computer. So every kid based on their interest, they focus on that area, plain and simple. So there is a multiple awards for every category so that they can get motivated in their interest area.
Definitely. I think this, after listening to what you said about this, the rewards and the incentives part, which is this basically, I realize that the schools have really complicated things at the larger level.
True.
To the point which makes me ask two questions here. One, there are so many questions to ask actually. Like usually, because I usually keep a time cap of 1 hour for all my podcasts, but this, I'm telling you, this is going to be the longest episode ever. I have like two questions to ask you. One is that what do you think schools should focus more on? Because see, we are currently looking at a generation whose parents are, and will, including us, upcoming aspiring parents, that when it comes to kids' school fees, we are really going to shell out a significant part of our life earnings.
True.
Even before they can reach college.
True.
I was shocked when I heard this, because my college fees was 2 lakhs per year, because I studied architecture.
Right.
That was a 2 lakh per year. And I inquire about school fee for a kid, and I got shocked when they said, you have to pay a caution deposit of 1 lakh and a school fee of 1 lakh. And I was like, excuse me.
What the hell? I know.
Wait, I could just put my kid and stay in college for that. Like, the thing is, what I'm trying to ask here, Saurabh, is that for that bomb amount of money, if you see the return of investment that's coming to the kid, it is significantly very less. They are reading information which is already redacted. They are looking at, and they're completely, their soft skills are, they don't really learn much of soft skills. Their focus is more towards like IIT, JEE. The school's focus is more towards competitive exams like IIT, JEE, entrances,
True.
and all of this. And here's a fun fact. My husband is a PhD scholar from IIT. And the first thing he tells me is that, Supriya, just you have to put hard work like anywhere else, like how you have to put it here also. That's what he told me. And my question here is that we are in the 21st centuries, and the whole aspect of education has not yet been reformed over the years.
True.
And there are so many challenging conversations. For example, sex education, to name.
True.
Which has taken a huge hit when it comes to like transmitting that knowledge to children, because all of these are looked at with a very myopic eyesight.
100%.
What are your thoughts on this?
I can tell you one story. I know I'm taking a lot of time.
No. This is interesting.
But here's the thing. So I'll tell you one story. So I'm living in a society kind of setup. So one day I parked my car, and then I was coming to take the lift. So in my every building there is a badminton court in the -2 level in the basement. So there was this mother and the kid. Kid must be 10, 11 years. The same age bracket which I am teaching, and that's why I'm able to relate more. So the mother was literally dragging that kid. Let's go and play with the other kids in the badminton court. And the kid was so shy. He had, God knows, it does not matter how he must be playing badminton. That's not the point. He was just not ready to even face the other kids. And the mother was literally dragging. Why you are so shy? Why can't you talk to other kids? What is the, and this whole conversation I was listening because we were walking towards the, towards the left, because the kid was just not ready to go to the badminton court. So we were standing and waiting for the lift while this conversation was happening. And I'm sure the kid must be going to the good schools, like you mentioned. But they'll not teach you this, how to face the world. That is the problem. So they must be teaching a number of things. They must be paying a lot of money. And I think that's where the frustration for that mother, like, hey, I am paying this hefty amount of money, and here is my kid who is not even ready to face this badminton court players, the society level of badminton court. How is going to face the world? The society is a small, right? It's hardly 1,000, 2,000 people, right? If he's not ready to face 5 kids in the society level setup, how is going to ready to face the world, which is 8 billion people? So I was thinking that day, there's something wrong. Somewhere down the line, there's something bizarrely wrong in this whole setup. And that's where this answer is. You need to make them ready, Supriya. So normally, what I genuinely feel as an educator, that once the kid is ready, once the kid is confident, they can face any challenge. They'll do something. It does not matter. They might not able to clear IIT or JEE or whatever, the NEET. They'll do something. If they have, they so why the aim is only IIT JEE? Especially in these days, the options are enormous. You can do anything. You can do whatever you want to, and you can do whatever interests you, and there's a still career there. The best part is there's a career there in your interest area. So currently what I am trying to do, Supriya, find their interest area. There is a career. I'm very sure there's a career, for sure. So if the money is the target, there's a career right there in front of your eyes. The challenging part is your interest area, to finding that interest area. Once you know this is my interest, there is a career. There's a career for everyone and anyone. I'm very positive. These days, there's no scarcity of career options. There's 20, 30 years back, there was only doctor, engineer, lawyer, and that's it. The career options end right there. But not these days. There are multiple options. So you can create your career. Even though there's no career currently, you can create your own career path.
Yes.
So currently, my focus, and I genuinely feel that's how it should be, finding the interest of that kid and nurture it like hell. And even if he or she does not succeed, it's okay. There's again, by just having that confidence that he can conquer any kind of obstacle and any kind of situation, he or she will find something else. It's okay. He'll definitely find something else. Even though, let's say, he started working on, let's say, art. He feels that he is very good in art and craft or any art sort of form. He or she started working on it, does not succeed, no worries. If he has that kind of confidence, they'll do something else, Supriya. I'm very confident in that part. They'll do something else, but we have to find that interest area for that particular kid, and we have to nurture it. We nurture it like anything, because this half-hearted nurturing is the real problem. When we see, he might do, he might not do, give him that confidence or give her that confidence. Hey, you can do it. Let's do it together. And once we have, the kid has this kind of support system from home, especially from home. It's a very important from home. This kind of support system from home, because most of the kids who is coming to our center, they don't have that support, Supriya. That's the worst part. Kids are aware what they are learning and how it is helping them, but parents are not able to understand. Still, after 9 or 11 or 10 months, still they don't know what exactly is the benefit. They are not able to understand what they are doing in Ikigai times. They don't understand the benefit of writing. What the hell they are writing all day and night on the Ikigai times. So they are not able to understand. They are not able to see the kind of growth that these kids are having. So the parent support is very important overall, and just nurture it. So once they have their interest, nurture it. I think that's the only solution I can think of.
So this is like, I don't know, I don't know how to say right now. I'm at a very speechless point of, see, I'm jumbling right now. I'm not really able to speak much. Because one thing I can understand here is that, Saurabh, is that you said something like, I've got your back. The kids need to have that confidence that I have got your back.
True.
I'm there for you. You fall, I'll be there to catch you.
Exactly. And once they have that kind of confidence, Nati, yes, my parents are with me, I can't tell you what they can achieve. They can achieve anything. And the overall mindset, this, apart from academics, there's a number of things. This thing has to be engraved as quick as possible, as early as possible. because once they have this kind of mindset, they'll do better in everything. It's not that these kids are only doing in the Ikigai times. They are doing much better in their exams as well, Supriya. I can't tell you. In their academics, in their school, everyone is like, so the one kid scored in 8th 98%. The principal, I had a call with principal, and principal got shocked. It never happened in their whole school class, ever. And I was like, there's something wrong. They literally rechecked their copy, literally. So they had the suspicion that there must be some miscalculation or something like that. And I said, no, this kid is superstar. She can get 98%. There's no, I have no doubt over it. So then, and she got 98%, literally, from a government school, and whose father is a security guard. I mean, it's unheard. Seriously, from the whole Barola history is unheard. That's coming from these kind of background and getting 98%. And so the point is, they'll do good in academics as well. So once you have that back, and once you have that support system, they'll do good in everything. But you have to give them that kind of feeling. Yes, we are there. We are right there.
Yes, and a bond without any form of judgment, most importantly.
Any form of judgment. Oh my God! This thing again. There's another rule in our classroom. On judgment. So we say we are not gonna laugh. So laughing is not allowed in our classroom. So same example: 2 + 2, 9th grader student does not know. We're not gonna laugh. Because you don't know also a lot of things. So no one is. So initially there was a lot of laughing, there's a lot of giggling on these kind of situation. Now everything is stopped. So there is no judgment. So, seriously, I'm telling you, even though it's 2 + 2, he or she is not aware in the 9th class, it's okay. It's okay. Let's do something else. Koi baat nahi. Math is not your stronghold. There must be something else which is gonna be your stronghold. So let's focus there. So yes, judgment is another area which we have to give them a kind of confidence. Yeah, there is no judgment at all.
Absolutely. And sir, and Saurabh, and what I saw is that I read about this a lot of posts on the Ikigai story, because there has been a disabling in the process of generational storytelling in families.
Right.
That has been a very, very strong opinion from my end that I've been telling it to all my friends and everybody I meet. Because I have been fortunate to be one of the very few kids whose grandfather used to make me sit down and tell me stories. And I am the kind that tells stories.
True.
Ask me any question and I will tell it in a storytelling format.
And you must be seeing it from my format as well, that all the answers are pretty much in the story format, that I get some story attached to that, like the lift story or whatever story. There has to be a story for sure, 100%.
So I often make this point to people as to why isn't there awareness on basic things like I mentioned, hygiene, sex education, gender equality. Now that there are so many so many sexualities of people coming in, like lesbian, gay, binary, transgender, and all of those things, very sensitive conversations.
True.
And most importantly, things at the larger level, like heritage conservation, resource conservation, then sustainability, and so on. So in what way does Ikigai story help in addressing the issue of the lack of storytelling?
So the one program which we run, we call it IKIGAI storytelling, by the way, where a student just tells story. That's it, plain and simple. Every Saturday, and even today is gonna be the one storytelling session. We have 1 hour storytelling session. We just tell stories, whatever, does not matter. One kid, the kind of say, hey, my sibling has done this, or my father has done this, whatever. Some small storytelling session has to be there. But the whole crux why we were doing this, of the same logic, Supriya, that what happens now, you have a lot of knowledge and you don't know how to articulate that in a better fashion that is going to be engaging enough that one wants to hear your thing. It has to be in a story. It has to be in a story.
Absolutely.
Otherwise it's so boring that after 1 minute the anyways the overall attention span is so less now. If it is not a good story, no one wants to hear it. Very simple.
Absolutely.
So story has to be there. So the storytelling sessions, we do it every month, and but everything I take on me, as I said, it's me who will at fault always. So I started the storytelling so that kid can do. I started writing on LinkedIn so that kid can do. I started the time so that kid can do. And everything I'm passing the torch to them after a point of time, once I have that they are ready. So now they are taking it on. And everything is like same for the storytelling, same for IKIGAI, same for LinkedIn, same for communities, same for twittering, everything. I'm doing it. I'm just bearing their torch bearer, and then they will take it on from that point. So for storytelling, I started storytelling as a verbal part. Now I started the writing part. So I recently, there was we celebrated Christmas for the Secret Santa gift kind of concept. So I got a name of the kid, Nix. I wrote a storybook. I don't know you have read or not, because
yes, I read, sir.
Okay, so
it's very lovely.
So I have read that storybook, Nix the King, because he just Nix the King, because Nix we have given a new name to him. His real name is Nikhil. The new name is Nix, and the king because he wants to see him as a king always. So even his LinkedIn profile, there's a crown in his name. So I was like, okay, Nix the King. So that's his name. So I started writing, and I'm telling you, and it's not happening, and that's why I'm so super confident. Trust me, down the line, 3-4 months, you will see a storybook from kid as well. I'm very super confident. And that's why I'm writing, because I'm very sure once they'll see me, and I'm not telling them to do it. Trust me, nothing I have told them. They will pick it on their own, and they'll start writing. So I have written a book, and now yesterday only I have written a post on that every month I'm going to write a storybook. So every month, literally, I'm going to pick one student and I'm going to write on their journey. So January, I have already picked one student. I have started working on it, what I'm going to publish in January. But the reason is not that I want to write. Seriously, Supriya, I want them to write, and that's the reason I'm writing it. But I know once they'll see me, couple of publications like December, January, February, March, I'm very sure by April or May, they'll start writing. One kid will come to me one day and say, hey, sir, I also want to write. I'm telling you, this will happen. I'm very sure. By April or May, you will see one kid from my classroom that they will have a book, a storybook. But storytelling is very important, that for the, how do I say, for articulating your overall thought in a very engaging manner, it has to be in a story. It has to be in a story. No other format will work these days. So I think a story is the very good part where you can portray and put across your point.
Because I grew up listening to Karadi Tales when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So Karadi Tales is a cornerstone of storytelling to every single kid right from the 90s.
Okay.
So I will have to be. I'm just saying this as an example, Saurabh, because my parents got me 3 Karadi Tales book. One was in Tamil, and it was narrated by a South Indian actor named Nasir.
Okay.
It was about the story of a monkey king.
Okay.
Then there was another book which was The Fox and the Squirrel, narrated by Saeed Jaffrey and Nasiruddin Shah.
Okay.
At that point, I did not know who Nasiruddin Shah was.
I got it.
When I watch his movies, I'm like, oh my god! I just listened to the storytelling CD. Oh my goodness, my childhood was actually made. And then there was another book which I read, which was The Birth of Krishna by Girish Karnad.
Okay.
I look up to the late Girish Karnad sir, as one of the pioneers in storytelling.
True, 100%.
And the way he says, the way he emoted was like, I didn't really felt like reading the book. All I could do was like envision whatever was going on 100%. Just by the way he was narrating
100%,
it.
100%. Now, books has to be that. The storytelling process is such a good way of teaching. So even in our classroom, Supriya, we discuss a lot of stories. Trust me. When even I'm discussing coding, and I'll associate some story attached to it, so that so the part is why I'm doing this story part, so that they know that world as well by doing this exercise. So like example, someday I'll discuss some story from either from US or from Patna or Delhi, does not matter. Point is they know that thing now because they have not seen it. So how about if I tell you they have not seen the, let's say let's say fully automatic washing machine, imagine, right? They have not seen it. It's not their fault that they had not seen it, but by my stories they know it now. They know it everything about a washing machine. They know everything about car. They know everything about lift. They know everything about escalators. They know everything about all these things which they might not have seen it, but now they know. So nothing is new for them. So when they use escalator, oh, they have seen it in a different form, but they must have seen it by my stories. So yes, the stories for me, that's where it's helping. I am making them visualize everything which they have not seen it in their real world.
So sir, you mentioned about the kids having their own LinkedIn profile. So yes, actually when I was reading through each of these kids' LinkedIn profile, I was actually shocked. I was like, dude, what I'm doing right now at the age of 28, these kids are doing it at a very young age.
True.
This also breaks a very important stereotype that is associated with having a LinkedIn profile, because most people think it's just the professionals who have a LinkedIn profile.
True.
But you are practically breaking the mold apart here.
True. 100%.
So how are the kids using the LinkedIn profile right now?
Okay. So the same way okay, let me tell you this. I'm coming from the tech background, right, Supriya? So I don't know, but as far as I have seen, people from tech background literally hate and downright hate writing. Trust me. Anything about writing, they just hate it.
Yes.
So am I. But I wanted them to write. I genuinely wanted them to write. So what I did, I started writing on LinkedIn. Sometime in June this year, June. Sometime in May, June, I started writing. So Supriya, my style is always, I don't tell them to do anything, nothing. I just tell them to see things and then take their own actions. Because if I tell them,
example.
If I tell them, hey, you need to write on LinkedIn, you need to write on IKIGAI, you need to do this, it does not work. I'm very sure it does not work. I want them to get motivated by their own, and then they'll do it day in, day out. So the same thing, May or June, I started writing on LinkedIn, and I was very sure they will pick it up. So one day, one kid has started, created the profile. Then they first asked, sir, what is this LinkedIn? What are you writing there? Because once I write, I'll put it in my WhatsApp status. So I want them to see it, read it, what exactly are. So they ask, what is this LinkedIn? Why you are writing about us? So I tell them, hey, I want the whole world to know what we are doing, and also they said, Acha, can we also write? I was like, yeah, you can also write. So I was like, okay. So one kid first created the profile, then another, and then another, and then another. Then one kid wrote some article, and then another, and then another, then another. Then I started the same award thing, and then whole thing just got busted. Then 20 of kids are writing these days. But the purpose of LinkedIn writing is, it's not that I want to become an influencer and all. I told them very clearly, it's not about likes, it's not about follow. They are not chasing likes, and that's the best part, Supriya. They're not chasing likes, they are not chasing anything. They're just writing. That's it. Plain and simple, they are just writing.
Beautiful.
So point of writing is why I want them to write, because again, this is storytelling, the vocal part, the communication, that also the writing is a very key area in that. This writing will help them in the life as well. So in their academics, in everywhere writing is the core part, and I want them to be in touch like anything, not like me who has. So I have written this year, and especially in this half year only, in the last 6 months, Supriya, I have written what? 250 posts, roughly. Only 6 months. On a day, like almost daily 2-3 posts I am writing these days. Point I have not written in my whole life what I have written in the last 6 months. Right. I am literally, I'm not, again, not exaggerating. I have not written this much in my whole
Your
life.
purpose has made you post this much.
I am writing day and night because I want them to write day and night. And the whole part, because I don't want them to become like me who hates writing. I want them to love writing and love storytelling. And that's why I am doing it. I am doing it so that they can get inspired and motivated, and they'll do it because it will help them in life. Very simple. It will help them in life somewhere. I don't know where. Seriously, if you ask me where it will, I don't know. But it will help them. I'm very sure it will help them. This both the things, the communication, the verbal part and the writing part, it will help them for sure in the life.
Absolutely.
Not in academics. I don't know where, but it will help them. Somewhere it will help them for sure. And especially just think about this, Supriya. 20 years down the line, when they will see their own LinkedIn, I don't know. And if let's say they are sitting in the UPSC interview panel, and then they'll tell them, hey, you know what? I am writing since the age of 10. You have any idea how big is this statement? That I have a LinkedIn profile and I'm writing it since the age of 10 or 11. This is such a big thing, which they are not realizing it now. But I'm just imagine in the UPSC panel when they will tell this to any panelist.
Absolutely.
It's such a big thing. They have no idea how big is this thing that they are writing since age of 10.
Because they would have to write it in the DAT sheet. Like, what you're doing, what are you doing, what is your thing about life? And then like, hello, I've already done this. Why am I not the ideal candidate here?
I am writing Times since the age of 10. It's a newspaper. It's such a big thing. It's such a big thing.
And then the IKIGAI Panchayats, which actually gives them the awareness of what's happening in the world.
Exactly the point. So it's such a big thing what they are doing in the age of 10, 11, 12, which they are not realizing now. But I am super confident down the line, 10 years, 15 years, when they'll look back and they'll say, oh yeah, let's clap, we have achieved something big for sure.
Absolutely. And sir, on this line, actually what I could see is that of late I've been seeing a lot of parents who are actually putting their kids through homeschooling. And also homeschooling or an open school where the kid learns at their own pace without having any pressure of learning by this deadline or time. What's the purpose of having a school right now?
True.
Because like, see, I shell out a lot of money, put my kid through a rigorous timeline which is only going to cause them so much mental stress. I'd rather my kid actually like does not conform to the timeline of the society and learns much better than what they can learn in a school. So which makes me ask the bigger question, why do we need a school?
No, homeschool is very good, Supriya, I also feel. But there's only one challenge I see with the homeschool. The kids have to meet kids. And especially these days, they have to meet kids. It's very simple. Yes. See, so in our days, I mean, especially my days, I'm talking, every evening we go to play some sort of outdoor games with the neighborhood kids and all. These days, these things are not happening. Every kid is in their home, all the time. They are playing something on mobile or they are playing something on Xbox or whatnot.
Yes.
Point is, if they are homeschooled, even that school time when they are seeing the other kids, that will go for sure. And I think that somewhere down the line, that is not good. That is not good. The outdoor time is very important. So for me, the school is outdoor time. It's the only left currently because they are not going out, and that's the challenge and that's the problem. Earlier the mothers were worried why the kids is not at home, and these days the worry is why they are all the time at home. So point is they have to go out, and I think the school is the only place where they see other kids. They when they see, play with them, talk with, so that will give them a lot of perspective, like what other kids is thinking, how they are doing, what they are doing, the team sports and all. So these all things which is done in only teams, that they will lack, and that's where I think the balance is currently missing. So homeschool is good, 100%, but this team part or the perspective part or playing with the other kids part is missing. And if we can find something between these two, yes, then we can say school is not required. But school is required, for me, school is required for that outdoor time, for sure.
Absolutely. And I do have a follow-up question on this. So, looking at you as a role model, Saurabh, what is a possibility that someone like me or someone who's inspired by your journey of having started IKIGAI School might also start something similarly along those lines? And my biggest fear right now is that we live in a very capitalist world right now.
True.
Every single idea is made money out of.
True.
And my biggest prayer to you right now is that I hope someone does not copy your idea of starting an IKIGAI school somewhere in some pocket of India and then monetize out of it.
I don't
Because
know.
the whole purpose is lost.
So, but yes, true. So another story. So one fine day, one of my friend asked me, "Why you are writing this much? Why you are writing everything about it?" The same thing what you said, the copy part. So he was genuinely worried that you are writing too much information. You are writing literally a lot of things which you should not. You are shelling out a lot of information about IKIGAI School. Someone will copy it and and it's not good. And I said, I want them to copy. Seriously, Supriya, I just want them to copy. Not for the money part, but if someone is copying, just copy everything, whatever we are doing. But please copy it. The copy is not the challenge, Supriya. The challenge is this commercialization wala part. Not the copy part. Copy is, I want them to copy. I genuinely, and that's the reason I'm day in, day out, I'm writing everything. This is what we are doing. Please copy it. But you are absolutely correct. This whole world is so much commercialized that they will copy it, the concept, not the whole, vision or not the whole passion around it. So they'll start making God knows. But even though the copy, the concept, I think it's okay. It's okay. The reason why I'm saying okay, I have thought about it. Particularly this question, I have thought about it, that when that other friend asked me that what if they copy, and I was like, okay, fine, they copy it. At least somewhere some kid will get benefited. So it's okay to copy it. Even it's okay to commercialize it, but somewhere, some down the line, one kid will get benefit. So there's no number game, Supriya, in this whole part. I am not thinking that, hey, 1 lakh students will get benefited. I want one kid get benefited. That's it. One kid will get the barrier of that, their generational baggage. So like 5 generations, they are living in the same poverty, they are living in the same area, they are living the same standard of life there, where 1 rupee is, the challenge for them. I want them to break that barrier. And even if the one kid is able to cross that barrier of that challenge, I feel successful, seriously. So it's okay. Seriously, it's okay. I want them to copy. Even it's commercialized, I want them to copy.
Sir, at the
okay.
So could you talk about a few students who touched your heart?
There are many. There are literally many. But I'll tell you, as I said, there's many. Literally, there are many, but one is Rakhi. So Rakhi, I don't know. I have written a lot of posts on Rakhi, to be honest.
Yes.
Lot. I have written.
Hence my question.
So I just love Rakhi. I don't know how can I tell you, but I just love Rakhi. So Rakhi, when I met her, she was in 8th, and she's the student who got 98%, by the way. Yeah, she's super brilliant. I can't tell you how brilliant she is. She is super duper brilliant. So yes, so she was in 8th when we started working together. Currently, she is in 9th. She's good in everything. Whatever comes her way, I don't know what she can't do. She's participating in book reading. She is in library. She is in computer lab. She is in skill center. She is in peer tutoring. She is in all the academics. She's everywhere. Literally, she's everywhere. So one day now we were having panchayat session, and one of the other teacher asked me to talk about every kid. So once the Rakhi's turn came, I told them what I'm gonna tell you now, that Rakhi is the kind of kid. Um, when I was envisioning this whole Ikigai school, I always wanted, there's a picture of a student. What kind of students you want in your school? And I told them, I want like her. I genuinely wanted like her, someone to come and, I want to work with her, and I want her to, see successful like anything. And if one student I want, to cross that barrier, it has to be Rakhi. If there's only one option I get, I'll pick Rakhi. Downright, no question in my mind. If there's only one student, if the God will ask me, hey, pick one student, I'll definitely pick Rakhi, because she has already seen a lot of struggles in her life. She's struggling a lot, n number of front, the money, the health. There's n number of things which she is struggling. I'm not gonna get into indulge in that kind of discussion, but the point is, she's struggling, and even though she's struggling all the fronts, and she's still good at everything, that is magic for me. That is a real sheer magic. That's it, plain and simple. Every day her eagerness to learn is way beyond words, Supriya. Every day you will. Achha, by the way, Rakhi is a student, has not missed a session. A session. If I am in Barola, I am in that area, she is there with me, right next to me. No matter what we are doing, does not matter. If we are doing community, she is there. If we are doing study, she is there. If we are doing some celebration, she is there. She has not missed a session till date. I'm not joking. 11 months, there was a lot of rain, there's a lot of weather, there's a lot of, someone could get sick, and number of things could happen, right? And still every single, not day, I'm not talking about day, a session. She had not missed a session yet. She's every time, every day she's coming to the center as if it's a normal, it's a nothing. She must have missed school, she must have missed a lot of functions, but she's not missing our center. God knows why, God knows what strength she's getting, but she's coming every single day. Literally, since the day one, and today is almost 11 months, she had not missed a session. She has got 9 Student of the Month award.
Oh, okay. My God.
Every month she is getting a Student of the Month award, except one. 1 month the other student got, but apart from one award, she has got every month. And the competition is pretty high. Every day is the competition is getting higher and higher, and still she is getting the Student of the Month award. This year, so there's another award, because this is the closing year, not December is coming, so there's an award called Student of the Year, right? So God knows who will get, but most probably she'll get that award as well. But the point is, she's just brilliant. I don't know how could a kid could be so nice and so brilliant, and yet so much humble, and she's so much and if you see her humility, and you will be like, nahi yaar, this is not possible. She is so brilliant, she must be having some kind of arrogance around her, and she's just so humble. She'll talk to you so nicely, that as if she is getting 30%, barely passing the marks, that kind of a student. So yes, that's Rakhi.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna tell this, Saurabh, right here. This has been such a gratifying experience to actually sit down and talk with you. And I thank God for giving me such an opportunity, and I thank you for giving me an opportunity.
I'm glad that you liked it.
Because I don't know, I would like to share one experience with you here that I encountered personally. So I think a few months back, I was called to I was doing a workshop with one of my friends who's a heritage conservationist at a school in T Nagar, which is in Chennai. I live in Chennai.
I know.
So, like, our intention was to actually talk about the fundamentals of heritage conservation to the kids. And while I was talking about Tanjore painting, which is in Tamil Nadu, and the person who pioneered Tanjore painting was Raja Sambhaji Rao. One kid very curiously got up and said, "Oh, it is after this guy the sambar was actually founded," and I couldn't control my laughter. I was laughing like anything. Even now, when I think about it, I really, it really.
I know, I could understand.
Yeah, so like each time I have sambar, I keep remembering this. Like, okay, this kid asked this question, this kid asked this question. So, like, as a follow up on that regard, I also gave a follow up class on Indian art for kids.
Right.
And I tell you, Saurabh, they didn't even let me speak. They were talking about all their visits to different palaces. And what I'm trying to tell is that it was just a very short experience for me, but by itself was so monumental.
True.
I can only imagine how it would be for you as someone who's been doing this for years consistently.
Right. I know. No, but it's a very, and that's the reason I'm saying you. It's such a it's once you hear this now that she has not missed a session. For some, it could be a very small thing, but just think the gravity. A kid who is in 8th or 9th has not missed a session. It's such a big thing. It's again unheard that there's again because life is happening with you. There's a number of things could happen to miss that class or miss a session or miss a day. But there's one reason is more than enough that to to get you there. And I think she's every day she's finding that one reason, God knows what reason, but she's finding that one reason to show up every single day and with her smiling face every single day, literally every single day. She's all the time smiling and no grudges with anyone and anything or any situation. Hey, my life is so bad, and every day she's smiling and she's learning. She's just into that particular thing. Whatever we are doing does not matter. Even if we are, she's very bad in painting, by the way. Okay, she's very bad in drawing. And if I tell her, okay, today is the drawing session, she'll try it. Even in her drawing is gonna be the worst one, but it does not matter. She's gonna try it and she's gonna finish it. Just because I told her, hey, let's do the drawing session today. She's very more than aware that her drawing is pretty bad, more than bad, but she's gonna try it. Just because I'm gonna tell her, hey, Raki, we'll do it. Even I'll do it. Let's do it. Even I'm bad, you are bad. Let's do it. The bad drawing today. So we'll do it together. But she's there for everything, no matter what. She's just there.
Lovely, lovely. And I don't know what to say, Saurabh. This has been a beautiful, beautiful day indeed. A wonderful start to my day also, because I got to sit with you. I got to understand the whole aspect of kids and education, the learning process and all of it. And most importantly, how we teachers need to gamify the learning experience in the longer run.
True.
And I believe you have set a very good example for the same, Saurabh. So thank you so much for agreeing to be my guest today on the podcast.
No,
and for patiently bearing all the glitches that happened on the way.
I just hope it gets recorded. If not, as we discussed, no worries. We can do it again sometime. Don't worry. But I hope it's getting recorded because the sign is still saying it's recording. So
Yeah.
I hope. But if not, no worries. We'll do it again. Don't worry.
Yes. So thank you so much for coming on board this episode of my podcast. Really means a lot.
Thank you so much.
And this is one that will always be memorable to me.
Best of luck for this podcast journey. And I hope that you will get some sort of peace and or whatever thing you are looking out of this whole podcast thing. See, Supriya, I always believe you do whatever you want some love towards it. So if the podcast is that thing, so be it. So please do well, and I hope you will do well in this whole podcast journey. And I hope that I might have added some value to it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Supriya. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was today's episode of the Curious Conversations podcast with me, Supriya. எவ்வளோ அழகா பேசினாரு நம்ம குமார் சௌரப் சார் இல்லைங்களா? எவ்வளோ விஷயங்கள் இருக்கு படிப்பை பத்தி, குழந்தைங்களை பத்தி. டீச்சர்ஸா, ஆசிரியர்களா நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய கடமை இருக்குங்க. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா சிம்பிள். சுவாமி சின்மயானந்தா ஒரு விஷயம் சொன்னாரு. Children are not vessels to be filled, but lamps to be lit. குழந்தைகள் வந்து ரொப்ப வேண்டிய பாத்திரங்கள் கிடையாது, ஏற்றப்பட வேண்டிய விளக்குகள்னு எவ்வளவு அழகா சொல்லியிருக்காரு இல்லைங்களா? குழந்தைகள் வந்து ஒரு அழகான தீபம் மாதிரி, அவ்வளோ பிரைட்டான குழந்தைங்க. நம்ம தான் வந்து அவங்க எமினேட் பண்ற அந்த லைட் வந்து கண்டினியூஸா ப்ரொபகேட் பண்றதுக்கான ஒரு மீடியமா நம்ம இருக்கணும். நம்ம அந்த ஒலியை அணைக்கவே கூடாது இல்லைங்களா? ஸோ ஆன் தட் நோட், தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் for patiently listening to us and bearing all the technical glitches that happened today. So, have a fantastic day and a lovely week ahead, folks. We'll meet you on the next episode. Until then, take care. Nandri, Vanakkam.